Hey guys, this is Chris from Rekkid Talk, and so we're going to do kind of a final finds video today, and it's going to be a tale of two vendors, and so this is going to basically be a story of two different booths in the same antique mall that are basically the polar opposites, cover the spectrum of the sort of booths you'll find when you're searching for vinyl records in an antique mall setting. So, of course, we know the stereotypes. Uh, it's the crappy old records from dead grandmothers that no one wants anymore, or it's stuff that's overpriced, and you'll see some of that. And so the place I was at was called Peggy's Attic, and it was a place I'd been to once before, about a year ago, when I made my Rachel's Attic video from Milan. Peggy's Attic's actually owned by the same people that own Rachel's Attic. And both of the booths that I'm going to describe today, I don't remember. And the good booth I know wasn't there when I visited the place before. And I don't think the bad one was either. So let me tell you the story about the bad vendor first. It was actually the first of the two that I came across when looking for records. And so basically, I find there's this cardboard box. It's got that water crinkling to it, so you could tell at some point this box has been in a flood situation. And there's probably, 30, 40 or so records inside of this box. It doesn't look very good, but I dutifully flip through them. And there's one that I posted to Instagram, and I'll show you the pictures of it here. I wasn't filming video. But there was this Nancy Sinatra record with just this horrible, disgusting, moldy, water damaged cover, and similarly moldy, disgusting vinyl that they were selling for $20. Now, it turns out I actually did look up that particular Nancy Sinatra record, and it's actually sells for more than you would expect a Nancy Sinatra record to sell for. I don't know if this vendor knew it. All the other stuff was like asking 10, 15, $20 for these moldy, disgusting records that literally, if if you donated them to a thrift shop, the thrift shop should like not take them or throw them away because there was nothing salvageable there. So of course I didn't buy anything there. And then probably literally 5 minutes later, I find the good booth. And so this booth I ended up buying records from. Now, I wasn't getting anything for $1 or $2 from this booth, so it wasn't good in the sense of finding a booth with somebody who has no idea what their records are worth and are giving them away. Occasionally you find those situations, and those tend to get picked clean very quickly. No, but I'll show you what I found. And so another one that I have put up on Instagram is this Tears for Fears songs from the Big Chair. And this is how it's labeled. And it was actually in a rice paper inner sleeve, which you almost never see in the antique mall situations. Everything's usually just in whatever the original sleeve was, or no sleeve at all. So you can see they're not giving it away at $18. Clean with ultrasonic look, and it definitely were clean with ultrasonic. The thing I'll say about this particular vendor is that this person's records were on par with Patrick the Vinyl Archivist. These are the cleanest records I've ever found in a used record antique mall situation. They're rarely cleaned at all. So I'm usually expecting that I'm going to be running these records through my cleaner. This record, I haven't even run it through my cleaner, and it sounded great. And so these prices are pretty much online with Discogs. Every single record, I ended up buying 5 records from this vendor. Every single record I bought from this vendor sound beautiful. They're all in nice shape. Men at work, business as usual. So like Tears for Fears. This is a classic 80s group that I think I'm going to be satisfied with a single record. I'm not going to go completist for either of them. I didn't get that new Tears for Fears last year. I know I don't think Men at Work have a big catalog. Now, somebody I'm not catalog on either, but I have several records of, and now I have another one, is this Prince and the Revolution with Parade. And so this isn't my all-time favorite Prince record, but a nice one to pick up to add. I have probably most of his stuff from the 80s. I haven't really gone beyond that. Joe Ely, Honky Tonk Masquerade from 1978. This one I got for $6. This was the cheapest of the records I bought from this guy, and this one was coming in below Discogs value, so it was a cutout at some point, but that good sort of living in that not quite rock and roll, not quite country music world that Joe Ely lived in. If I remember right, he's an Austin, Texas based guy. This is an album from 1978. And then something that I found, so Deer Tick from 2010. This one kind of stuck out like a sore thumb because most of his records were stuff from the 70s and 80s, which he didn't really have like the Herb Alpert sort of stuff that you find a lot in antique malls, but it's mostly kind of your standard 70s, 80s stuff. And there was a lot of good stuff there that either I had or I wasn't personally interested in, but I could definitely envision other people interested in. Now, the corner is a bit bashed up on this Deer Tick, but kind of cool to find this 2010 alternative record. I got this one for $12 in a situation like that. I'm never expecting to find 2010s all Americana-ish sort of music in those sorts of situations, but I did. And so now that place is a couple hours away from where I live, so I'm not going to be able to revisit regularly, but I'm thinking I'll probably go back next year. I hope that vendor's still there. I hope that vendor is somebody that's adding to their stock as well. That's not sort of I put in records and I never bring in any more records. Another thing that vendor did that I really appreciated, had the stuff positioned in the sleeve so that it was fairly easy for you to check the condition without having to dig through everything. Everything was in nice inner sleeves, nice outer sleeves. He didn't completely jam the crates full, which most people in antique mall situations like to do. They like to have everything so jammed that it's impossible to flip through. And then the people selling CDs like to stack their CDs in such a way that you can't actually see the titles of the CDs. People with records and CDs, a lot of them want to make it as hard as possible for you to know what is there and what to buy. But this seller who had desirable stuff in very nice shape was very much appreciated, and I bought some records from him. And the person with their cardboard box from the flood and the mold didn't buy any of your fucking shit.